Atlasview Equity, we're a private equity firm, meaning that we use both our money and investor money to buy companies, mostly software, but we also look at tech-enabled services and other capital-light businesses, but our primary focus is definitely software. Criteria-wise, so what do we look for? The strategy we take is generally what's called a buy and build in private equity. What that means is we look to make one large platform investment into a specific industry. And then from there, we'll make that platform acquire smaller add-ons and bolt-ons to grow inorganically over a 5-year period or hold period before we look to exit. What we look for is primarily software. We want to see that the software is sticky, has very loyal customers, has a degree of pricing power. You've probably seen me talk about pricing power a lot and how important it is for a business to have it. Just to clarify, pricing power meaning being able to actually increase your prices year over year on your customers without losing many or any of them, increasing it to an amount that far exceeds inflation. Inflation is quite high these days, so it's a pretty high bar to begin with. We look for businesses with pricing power, low ongoing capital expenditures. So in software parlance, that means mature businesses. The product needs to be stable. The product needs to be well tenured, and no major rewrites are required or major capital expenditures, R&D required. See a lot of software companies competing in verticals that are horizontal fields that are so competitive that you need to be investing in an obscene amount of R&D every single year just to maintain parity with your competitors. We're not good at investing in those kind of businesses. It's beyond our scope. We want to look at more mature, more verticalized businesses where the product is not changing massively year to year. It's basically pretty stable, boring niches that power very critical functions for their customers. They're mission critical, have pretty high switching costs for their customers. It's typically what we look for in a software business. And from there, a nice to have for us would be a great team. We don't mind having to rebuild a team. In fact, a lot of the businesses we look at, we're in the lower middle market, and the lower middle market means generally businesses under $50 million in enterprise value. A lot of these businesses that are under 50 million generally have missing headcount, missing executives. You usually don't have a CFO. They might have an owner operator who's got a CEO. They may have a second in command, maybe a head of operations. We'd like for a good team to come with the transaction, but we're okay if there's significant missing headcount. We're okay if the owner wants to transition out as well. We've done CEO replacements and transitions. It's not a problem for us. The core thing we look for is sticky customers. We want to know that your customers just swear by your software product or your service you're offering. They're not going anywhere anytime soon.